Hi, everybody. Welcome back to A Person's Haven. It is September 3rd today. I'm out here in the garden. I wanted to give you guys a little tour of what a garden looks like in September in northern Minnesota. I also have some tomatoes that need to be picked, and then I'm going to bring some plants into the house because it is supposed to freeze tonight. So let's start on the far garden bed and we'll work our way towards the front. We'll get our tomatoes picked and then we will get our plants moved in. All right, so this garden bed here is mainly carrots. So all of this big bushy stuff is carrots. I do have a few pepper plants in here. So this plant right here is a pepper. He kind of got overtaken by carrots, and I did not get any peppers off of him this year. We have a pepper plant back here. You can see he has some flowers, but also no peppers from that one. This plant back here is probably my biggest pepper plant. Looks like I've got one pepper way down here, and one right there. And we did get quite a few peppers off that plant. This pepper plant back here is also one of my bigger plants. If you can see down in here, we've got two there, and then we've got three nice ones right in there. This plant here on the corner, which is getting taken over by these carrots. This is a banana pepper plant, so I got a few peppers on that one. If you look down here, look at how big my carrots are going to be. And then this guy right here is my last pepper plant in this bed. He does have some peppers, but I'm not sure what kind of pepper plant this is. All right, this is my next bed. These are my Brussels sprouts here. If you look in here, you can see little sprouts growing. All right, so down here underneath the Brussels sprouts, we have garlic. I'm not sure if it's going to amount to anything. I do see, let's see here. You can see here it's starting to shrivel up some leaves. It looks like it's got three. So if you watched my onion powder video, which is coming out here soon, if three leaves shrivel up, that means it's time to pick. So I'm guessing that it is time to pick these guys. Let's see if I can get one out. I don't know. Yeah, they're stuck pretty deep in there. I might have to grab my shovel. But we'll come back to that. Right here is one of my hanging flower baskets. This is one basket that I'm going to try to overwinter this year. These are double petaled petunias. This is the first time that I've ever seen these at a store, and I just fell in love with them. So as you can see, it has two petals. So I'm going to try to overwinter this. He looks pretty healthy. Right here, on the back row here, is my tomatoes. I do have a lot to pick. Underneath here, I keep forgetting about this guy because the tomato kind of took over. But underneath here, I do have a pepper plant with a little pepper. And then all this on front here is carrots again. This right here is a pepper plant. And then these are my peas, which are done. I just have to chop them off and compost those. Over here is my cucumbers. So you can see I do have some cucumbers growing right now. But this trellis, back up to show you, this trellis right here that I built, the cucumbers grew up one side, the peas grew up the other, and it worked really well this year. This is my first year. Again, here we have carrots, and then in this back row, we have more tomatoes. As you can see, my tomato branches are breaking. My fruit is heavy, and it is ready to pick some of these. This is my giant tomatillo plant. He's really big. All of these little pods here, all these little pods should be tomatillos. There is a little guy in there. Some of them are empty, but that one does have one. So this right here is my asparagus patch. The dogs, Molly, the dogs are in love with it right now because my husband buried fish carcasses in there. But this patch here will eventually die off, and then I'll cut the tops of them off, lay it on the bed for a little bit of a barrier. Over here we have my raspberries. They will eventually die off, and then in the spring when they grow back, if any of the stalks died, that's when I can cut them down. This basket here is holding on in a few spots, but this is really what I want to try to save. I want to see if I can save these begonias out of here. And I don't know, and see if I can overwinter them. I don't know how it's going to work, how well it's going to work. But I'm hoping that I can get those in tonight somehow safely so I can transplant them. All right, over here, as you can see, this is my butternut squash plant. So the ends of the plant look amazing. I have one really nice looking squash here. He's firm. He's good. I did not have very many female flowers this year, so I did self-pollinate or hand-pollinate them, and most of them died. Sorry for the noise, we're by the AC. But I also have a little one right here, and he should grow. There was one right here that shriveled up and died. Another one right there that shriveled up and died. And other than that, I have not seen any other female flowers on this whole plant. And then here is my zucchini. They are starting to die back. I just picked these yesterday. I do have a few little guys left, a few flowers left. But they are kind of wrapping themselves up as well. And then lastly, over here, this is my hollyhock, my volunteer hollyhock. He's really tall, but I can't figure out how to get him to stand. So if any of you have any suggestions for that, please let me know. This basket over here has seen its better days, but again, there are a few begonias in here that I would like to try to transplant as well. But for the most part, all of this stuff died a while ago. And then there's a few things I want to show you. up on my deck. Girls, don't eat grass. No grass. All right, so up on my deck, I have got this Gerber daisy basket. So Gerber daisies are one of my favorite flowers. And if any of you have bought Gerber daisies, you know they're not cheap. So I'm going to try to overwinter this guy and see what happens. And then right here, I have a basil plant. He looks very, very amazing. I'm going to bring him in tonight and try to overwinter him. Here is a geranium of mine. Again, any of you plant things, you know geraniums are one of the more expensive flowers as well. So he will also be one that I'm going to try to overwinter. Get some of these. And the frost is coming tonight, which is why I'm out here filming this for you guys, because after today we may have a sad looking garden. Sorry for the barking. My dogs found something to bark at, which is easy for them. But anyways, after today, the garden may look pretty sad. But I am going to cover it up with blankets to try to prolong its life. This right here is parsley. It's actually doing really good, better than I anticipated. So I'm also going to bring this guy in the house and see if he will grow in there for me this winter. Over here I have another geranium. You can tell he's already kind of starting to die off, so I'm going to get him in there tonight as well. To try to save him. And it just rained a lot here, so all of these should be good water-wise for a while in my house. And then I'll just water them throughout the winter. So this is my last basket that I'm going to save. I don't know what kind of flowers these are, but they have been blooming all summer long. They've been beautiful. And I'm going to see what will happen if I put them inside over the winter. So stick around with me. I have to get my tomatoes picked. I have to get my plants moved inside. And then I have to get ready for bed to start again early tomorrow morning. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my plants and take them on inside. Okay, everybody, so as you can see, I got all my plants moved inside except for the begonias. I believe I'm just going to put them in the garage for tonight until I can transplant them because I don't have enough time to transplant them tonight. I'll have to clip that one off. But as you can see, I've got all those flowers. I got my basil, and I also have my parsley. My plan is, I've already had my cat up on this table, so my plan is I'm going to try the tin foil method. I heard it works, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to put a piece of tin foil on each end where there's kind of those holes, as well as here, to see if he lands on it, if he'll run away, because I heard that works. So I will keep you guys posted. But this is what my kitchen is going to look like this winter, and we will see if any of these flowers make it to the spring. Thank you everybody for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And if you would like to stick around and continue to watch more videos, I would be forever grateful. Push the thumbs up button, send this to your friends, or subscribe, and stick around to see if these plants survive the winter. Until next time, have a good day.